Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 6.
And considering the national profile that he's accrued over the last few days, he very well could end up summoning quite a few Nazis to Fargo.
It's the kind of talk that could make you feel a little uneasy. That's the nephew of Peter Tefft. Tefft is from Fargo and calls himself a pro-white activist.
We spoke with him earlier this week after he returned from the events in Charlottesville, Virginia. Jacob Weber says Tefft told him that he plans to organize a rally in Fargo in October. Weber says if that happens, he wants large numbers of people to stand together in peaceful opposition.
And, you know, we're going to go out and we're going to counter-protest him for sure. But, you know, who knows how many people he's going to bring. So if there are any people out there who are like, you know, DSA, Black Lives Matter, Women's March kind of people who want to come down and stand by us and march with us, we'd be, you know, more than grateful. We'd absolutely welcome that.
Weber added that if Nazis do rally in Fargo, there will be counter demonstrations. He says there are too many good progressive people in Fargo for there not to be. We're attempting to get a hold of Tefft to confirm his plans.
A semi slammed into two cars after it lost control on Interstate 29 in Fargo today. All three vehicles were southbound on the interstate when the semi driver had to stop suddenly, veering off the road. One of the cars came to a rest in a Sanford facility parking lot on 38th Street South. The truck hit a brick sign in front of the building, blocking off 38th Street for a while. A child riding in one of the cars was treated for minor injuries. No one else was hurt. No word yet on what authorities believe caused that crash.
East Grand Forks Police issued a statement earlier today after 3 overdoses in the Grand Forks area that they believe are related. All occurred within the last 24 hours and involve what police think is a bad batch of meth. Officers first learned of the problem after arresting a driver for DWI. During that arrest, another call came in about a man saying his throat was slit. The man was not hurt and was hallucinating. Investigators say the 2 calls were related and they found traces of meth at the scene. Authorities warn that someone suffering from hallucinations can be especially dangerous.
You know, you never know. They might become suicidal, they might become homicidal. You have no way of knowing how each individual is going to react.
Police are warning the public to be careful, and they ask anyone with information about this substance to report it to local law enforcement.
2 women were arrested, and authorities are looking for 2 more people after a home break-in and an attempt to steal a vehicle near Red Lake Falls, Minnesota. It happened last night. The homeowner caught one woman and deputies caught another. The 2 people who got away are described as a man with a dark complexion and a woman with blonde hair, both about 40 years old. The 2 in custody are facing burglary and theft of a motor vehicle charges. No names were released.
Sprinkles turned into a steady rain this afternoon in the FM Metro. Let's find out from Robert where the rain is now. Robert?
Still some rain falling in the Fargo-Moorhead area. About the southeastern half of the viewing area, still seeing some rain. That will slowly make its way off towards the southeast and get on out of here as we head through the overnight hours. Right now, temperatures in the 60s where we're seeing lots of clouds and some rain, but some sunshine has warmed up Devil's Lake to 74 degrees there, 72 in Langdon, 68 here in Fargo, Wahpeton, and in Sisseton. Some northerly breezes today, 5 to 15 miles per hour, some stronger gusts. They pick up tomorrow, 10 to 20 miles per hour with some occasional stronger gusts. There are the clouds. We're socked in with those clouds, and underneath those clouds, quite a bit of rain still falling out there. And again, this area will just ever so slowly slide off towards the southeast as we head through this evening. It's a soggy one, and it's going to continue soggy here in Fargo as we head through the 7, 8, and 9 o'clock hour. Temperatures just dipping into the mid-60s by 9. That's a look at your weather. Let's get a look at the Cashwise Backyard Barbecue out in Felton, Minnesota with our very own Chief Meteorologist, Hutch Johnson. Hey, Hutch.
Wow, well, there isn't much more to look at. I think we cleaned our plates. We belong to the Clean Plate Club, don't we?
Yes, we do.
All right, now tell me a little bit about where you signed up to win the Cashwise Backyard Barbecue.
I signed up in Moorhead in Cashwise,
okay.
Right by the meat department.
Okay, very good. And how was everything?
Everything was excellent. Very good.
And how was everything, Cooper? Yes, Cooper even had a little bit of steak, but Mike, no steak left for you, and Andrea, I think it's the same. There is some broccoli, however, at least for now. We'll toss it back to the studios while we continue to chat about the weather and puppies.
I like broccoli.
Yeah.
It works for me.
Better than nothing.
Way better than steak. Yeah. Okay. Classes for Fargo schools start in 8 days, and given the recent contract negotiations with teachers in the Fargo School District, some wonder if all teachers will sign.
Teachers are not allowed to strike in North Dakota, so if they don't sign their contracts in less than 2 weeks, they'll be out of a job. Valley News Team's Christine Stanwood sat down with the superintendent of Fargo schools and asked if the district is prepared to fill for some sudden teacher vacancies.
Anytime you say that your time you've put in somewhere isn't worth any value, it does get a little difficult.
That was the feeling for some teachers after yesterday's contract was finalized. Jennifer Mastard is an 8th grade teacher in the district. Now, she can't say if teachers are considering leaving, so we asked her what she's hearing from other teachers.
I'm not hearing anything from teachers right now because, we're not in session right now. Teachers are not in classrooms. We're not in the buildings. We're not together. So there's a lot of teachers who are probably going to be very shocked by this. They won't even be aware really what's going on.
If teachers don't sign, is the district prepared?
We're not anticipating that'll be a problem. On Thursday of next week, when we open the doors, students will show up, teachers will be there, all the other support staff will be there, and we'll open school as normal. If people were to call in sick or not show up, then, as we always do, we find coverage in the classroom, we get subs in, we do those kinds of things.
We spoke with a member of the FEA this afternoon. She tells us she has no knowledge of teachers rejecting the current contract. In Fargo, Christine Stanwood, Valley News Live.
School board officials say teachers can petition to reopen negotiations for next year's contracts around Thanksgiving.
There was quite a mess on one of West Fargo's main traffic arteries today. Repair crews spent much of the day fixing a major water main break just west of Cheyenne Street. Homeowners and renters in the area were without water while the repairs were being made. We are told water service has since been restored and repairs are now complete.
You've probably someone say adulting. Well, it's now a verb in the dictionary.
It means to behave like an adult, and it may surprise you how many, quote, grown-ups don't know how to do basic adult things. Valley News Team's Nicole Johnson explains.
Hashtag adulting. I don't want to adult today. Adulting is hard. It's a common way of complaining about grown-up things like laundry, having a job, making a dentist appointment, or buying a car. While a lot of people mean it to be funny, there's also a serious tone. Recent surveys find many millennials don't know how to change a light bulb. Others don't know how credit cards work, and some can't even boil an egg.
You're lost because you haven't had to know how to do those things.
Rachel Blumhard, a therapist, tells me the generations growing up with a lot of technology aren't learning certain life skills.
Oftentimes we just assume that they would naturally know how to do those things. Or as parents, sometimes we forget that an important role we have is helping our children become independent.
And that's true for other generations too. Millennials aren't the only ones having a hard time adulting.
It has always been there. Now we just have a word for it.
Good news for those about to head off to college. Many campuses across the nation, including the University of North Dakota, are offering adulting classes, focusing on teaching things like cooking, taxes, leaving voicemails, or wearing pants. And you can earn 2 credits for it, so you can master hashtag adulting. In Fargo, Nicole Johnson, Valley News Live.
NDSU and MSUM are not offering adulting classes, but for those attending UND, there are still open seats for the spring session of hashtag adulting.
Keeping your car running smoothly takes a little effort. That includes during the summertime. A local mechanic says people should be sure to check fluids, especially the coolant, and rear axle, especially if they use a truck to tow a boat. Water can get in the rear axle and can cause problems that can cost owners more than $1,000 for repairs. College students should also know basic car care. Parents should make sure their kids know how to change a tire and check the pressure. Also check fluids and jump start. Students need to have a good battery because often this isn't a place to plug in their car on college campuses during the colder months.
Need glasses for Monday's historic eclipse? Later on Valley News Live at 6. They are limited, but we'll tell you where you might be able to get some.
Rain continues over the southeastern half of the valley, and it's going to continue for at least the next several hours. A return to sunshine tomorrow. How warm does that let us get? We'll let you know coming up right after this.